History of the Trinitarios gang, New York.
They are the Trinitarios, one of New York's most lethal and fastest rising gangs.
The crackdown of this violent gang blamed for the murder of Lissandra Guzman Feliz. The same gang is now linked to 2 violent stabbing attacks. It is a Dominican gang the NYPD has been watching and fighting for years.
Rikers inmate was murdered by another inmate, and the alleged attacker is believed to be a Trinitarios gang member, according to Pix 11 sources. This is the first murder at the jail since 2008, and sources say the 27-year-old inmate approached the victim from behind and choked him with his hands.
In April 2016, the NYPD joined the feds to raid suspected gang strongholds in the Bronx, considered the biggest takedown of its time. Members of the Trinitarios, a Dominican gang used as street-level drug dealers and enforcers, were already on law enforcement's radar for their savagery.
What's going on? What's good, Papa? What's good, right? You know, padre, a maní. We got the 3 bulls on.
No la mi bloque, Trinitario, Tiburones.
Founded in 1993 within the confines of Rikers Island, New York City's primary jail, the Trinitarios emerged as a formidable Dominican gang, established by Leonidas Junito Sierra and Julio Caballo Marin, both incarcerated for unrelated murder charges. The gang's initial purpose was to safeguard Dominicans and other Hispanic inmates from predominantly African American and other American gangs. The Trinitarios stand out as the first significant Latino gang with origins in New York City. From these beginnings, their influence spread across the Northeast. Drawing inspiration from the Dominican War of Independence, they named themselves after 3 key revolutionaries from the conflict. Their motto, Dios, Patria y Libertad, mirrors the Dominican Republic's national slogan, translating to God, homeland, and liberty. Their chosen colors, lime green combined with the red, blue, and white of the Dominican flag, symbolize their roots and unity.
Agents rounded up dozens of the Trinitarios in 2009, but experts say the gang is making a comeback.
In 2009, the Trinitarios faced significant setbacks when the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York undertook a series of legal actions against them. This offensive continued into 2011, with 50 individuals linked to the Bronx Trinitarios gang facing charges related to federal racketeering, drug offenses, and firearms violations. Of these, 41 were indicted under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, accused of being part of a criminal enterprise involved in drug trafficking, as well as several cases of murder and attempted murder. On August 25, 2010, a federal grand jury indicted 3 members of the Trinitarios, including the head of their Rhode Island chapter, on charges related to firearms and drugs. This followed their appearance on an undercover video by the Federal Bureau of Investigation during a meeting in Providence. An additional member faced charges at the state level for firearms offenses. On March 21, 2012, 7 Trinitarios members based in Barcelona were found guilty of brutally marking a fellow member with a 50 centimeter X on his back, using a kitchen knife. This punishment was meted out because the member had ties with Femmes 13, a rival gang. During the proceedings, the court labeled the Trinitarios as a criminal organization, paving the way for harsher sentences for both the culprits and the gang's higher-ups. Coincidentally, on the day the verdict was announced, May 11, 2014, a skirmish erupted in Madrid between the Trinitarios and another gang, the Netters. This altercation led to the apprehension of 26 gang affiliates.
It's been estimated more than 1,000 Trinitarios operate on the streets of New York City. They're also said to be active in Milan, Italy, and Madrid, Spain.
In 2014, Sierra, the co-founder and past head of the Trinitarios, was handed a 19-year prison term for his involvement in a racketeering conspiracy. This sentence was stipulated to run consecutively to a previous 22-year to life sentence he was serving in New York, stemming from a 1989 murder conviction. Alongside him, about 140 members of the gang, including some of Sierra's top deputies, faced convictions and were given extended sentences. Despite setbacks, the Trinitarios later saw a resurgence in activity. Disputes flared up within the gang's ranks starting in 2011, triggered when a leader from their Sunset Park chapter in Brooklyn ambitiously tried to branch into the Bronx without the necessary permissions. This internal strife reached a boiling point in 2018, resulting in a series of shootings. In 2011, the New York City Police Department approximated the Trinitarios gang to comprise 3,181 members in the city, accounting for nearly 5% of the city's total gang population. A significant growth in their numbers was observed around 2007 to 2008. But their membership later plateaued. Predominantly operating in New York and New Jersey, their activities span across Upper Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, Albany, and Long Island. Beyond these regions, they've established a footprint in various eastern seaboard states, including Rhode Island, Georgia, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Florida, and even as far as Tennessee. Over in Spain, while the Trinitarios are mainly of Dominican descent, they also consist of members from Bolivia, Colombia, and native Spaniards. The rise of Latin American gangs like the Trinitarios in Spain can be attributed to the large-scale deportations of Latin American immigrants with criminal backgrounds from the U.S.
A staggering display of guns,
including assault-style rifles like semi-automatic AR-15s and AK-47s.
32 people arrested, 79 guns grabbed, and more than $120,000 worth of drugs in a sweep of raids called Operation Emerald Crush. Much of it on the streets of Lawrence and surrounding communities where a New York-based gang called Trinitarios has spread to New England neighborhoods.
The Trinitarios distinguish themselves through their meticulous organization, evident in their well-defined hierarchical structure and their inclination for intense violence. Court testimonies against members reveal their rigorous initiation process. Prospective members require a sponsor, receive a rulebook upon joining, and must commit to an oath, pledging allegiance to the gang's constitution. While the machete is their signature weapon, members are also known to wield baseball bats, firearms, and knives. Their illicit activities span from drug trafficking, particularly in heroin and cocaine, to assaults and home invasions. Moreover, schools have become vulnerable areas for the Trinitarios, serving as potential recruitment hubs. In August 2018, multiple members of the Trinitarios gang were apprehended after firing at a residence in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Additionally, in January 2019, a member of the same gang was taken into custody in connection with the shooting of a 16-year-old girl, also in Lawrence. In June 2018, a member of the Trinitarios gang hailing from Haverhill, Massachusetts, was taken into custody for the killing of a member from the rival gangster Disciples. A Haverhill detective documented that this arrest was linked to a continuing gang war between the Trinitarios and the gangster Disciples, which had already manifested in several shooting incidents. In Operation Emerald Crush, conducted in Massachusetts in November 2019, 18 members of the Trinitarios were among the 32 individuals apprehended. This large-scale operation saw collaboration from over 70 officers spanning federal, state, and local levels. The accused individuals were allegedly involved in the trafficking of a significant volume of drugs including cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, and crack cocaine valued at approximately $120,000 on the streets. The authorities managed to seize 79 firearms during this operation. Remarkably, these guns, imported from other states, included 17 stolen weapons, with at least 2 having ties to prior shootings. In one striking instance, undercover agents successfully purchased 27 firearms in a single deal.
A young woman was allegedly at the center of events that led alleged gang members to hunt down 15-year-old Junior Guzman Feliz at a Bronx bodega Wednesday, thinking the teen had appeared in a sex video with her. The woman was a gang member's sister. Junior didn't know her. Instead, he had dreams of being a police officer. Junior was hauled out of the bodega by his hood and hacked with a machete and knives. A Trinitarios leader sent a message to Junior's family that the gang had made a terrible mistake, one that had brought them to tears.
Was 29-year-old Diego Suero. Police sources say he is the local leader of the Trinitarios gang, and he is accused of ordering the murder. 15-year-old Junior Guzman Feliz was the victim, but we now know he was wrongly targeted in the revenge killing, and it was actually a case of mistaken identity.
That Trinitario shit out. That's how them niggas want it. That shit don't go for a hole, bro. There's blood niggas who's doing good things. There's Crip niggas who's doing good things, and so is tribus. So that's the way them niggas wanted to react. They will meet they maker, like I said. I'm Trinitario. I don't get down like that. Or none of my bros either. So leave that shit out the way, bro. Patria, nigga.
On June 20th, 2018, in the Bronx, a 15-year-old named Lesandro Jr. Guzman Feliz ventured out of his home to lend a friend $5. The teenager, with dreams of joining law enforcement, was part of the NYPD Explorers program, which mentors young people interested in police careers. That evening, 5 Trinitarios gang members on the prowl for a perceived adversary tragically misidentified Guzman Feliz for another young man who had reportedly slighted a gang member's niece. Both boys bore a startling resemblance. This case of mistaken identity took a devastating turn when the gang members accosted Guzman Feliz inside a bodega at Bathgate Avenue and East 183rd Street. The teenager was dragged outside, brutally assaulted, and attacked with machetes and knives. The chilling incident was caught on security and cell phone footage. After the tragic event, a Trinitarios leader publicly expressed remorse on social media, apologized to the bereaved family, and claimed to have expelled the perpetrators from the gang. The brutal killing deeply shocked and angered the public, with the video of the attack spreading widely online. By June 2019, 5 members of the Trinitarios face convictions for first-degree murder, conspiracy, and gang assault related to the tragic event. In a turn of events during the trial, 2 gang members who were part of the assault took the stand for the prosecution, shedding light on the gang's internal dynamics. As the verdict was announced, one of the convicted members defiantly exclaimed, "Papodi, hasta la muerte," translating to Trinitarios until death. By July 2022, 2 higher-ranking members or leaders of a specific set were found guilty for orchestrating the murder. On July 2021, Acting Attorney General Andrew J. Bruck recently announced charges against 14 individuals allegedly associated with the Trinitarios Street Gang on accounts of first-degree racketeering. These alleged drug dealers reportedly utilized firearms and illicit high-capacity magazines to guard their open-air drug territories against competing gangs. The arrest of the 400-block faction by the Attorney General's office and Patterson police aimed to mitigate the gang's intensifying disputes with opposing drug factions, a situation rapidly heightening gang violence in the city. The operation, termed Operation Park and Pennington, spanned 8 months and was spearheaded by the Division of Criminal Justice Gangs and Organized Crime Bureau and the Patterson Police Department Narcotics Unit. Of the individuals involved, Eric Polanco, 27, is believed to be at the helm, with Joseph Lanrao, 26, and Roberto Santiago, 60, having notable roles. Their territory, stretching from Market Street to Park Avenue between Rosa Parks Boulevard and Madison Avenue, has seen them entangled in various gang confrontations. Notably, Lanrao suffered severe injuries from a shooting on June 20, 2021, and Jussi Giraldino, 23, along with Kremlin Alcantara, 22, narrowly escaped the shooting on May 24, 2021. In the Bronx District Court, 26 individuals, believed to be members of the Trinitario gang, face charges stemming from a combined investigation by Homeland Security Investigations New York, the Bronx District Attorney's Office, and the New York City Department of Corrections Correction Intelligence Bureau, with additional support from the New York City Department of Investigation. The findings revealed that, from September 2015 to July 2019, inmates with ties to the Trinitarios, either currently or previously housed at Rikers Island, orchestrated 14 violent episodes within the facility. While half of these confrontations targeted rival gangs, the other half focused on Trinitarios members perceived to have violated internal gang regulations. Out of these incidents, a significant majority, 12 to be exact, involved severe physical harm, such as slashings and stabbings. The accused allegedly coordinated these actions utilizing various communication channels, including phone calls and written correspondence, often resorting to cryptic language to mask their intentions. The gang faced significant legal setbacks, with members and leaders convicted on charges including racketeering and murder. Despite setbacks, they expanded their influence across several states in the Northeast and even into Spain. Notably, they were involved in the tragic murder of 15-year-old Lisandro Jr. Guzman Felez, which garnered widespread public outrage. Law enforcement continues to target the Trinitarios, resulting in arrests and convictions. Their activities, especially in drug-related crimes and violence, remain a concern for authorities.